Hello, everyone, and welcome to a long, reflective B1 level episode. Today, I want to talk about something that many people struggle with, something that I struggled with for years: staying motivated during difficult times. Motivation is a strange thing. Sometimes you wake up full of energy, ready to work hard, ready to change your life. And sometimes you wake up tired before the day even begins. Sometimes you feel clear, focused, and strong. And sometimes you feel lost, confused, or stuck. I experienced all of these feelings, especially during a very difficult period in my life. There was a time when everything felt heavy. My responsibilities were growing, my goals felt far away, and every step forward felt slow and exhausting. I wanted to improve myself, to study more, to work harder, but I didn't have the energy. I felt guilty for not being productive. I felt frustrated because I wasn't moving fast enough. And I felt scared that maybe I would never reach the life I dreamed of. But slowly, over time, I learned something important. Motivation doesn't come from excitement. It comes from discipline, small habits, and self-understanding. I realized that motivation is not a fire that burns constantly. It is a spark that appears for a moment and disappears. You cannot depend on it. You cannot wait for it. You must build routines that work even on days when you feel weak. So I made small changes. Every morning, instead of checking my phone immediately, I took a few minutes to breathe and think about the day. I didn't try to plan everything perfectly. I just asked myself, what is one thing I can do today that will make me proud tonight? Not 5 things, not 10 things, just one. That simple question changed my life. I also learned to be kinder to myself. I realized that progress is not always visible. Sometimes you work hard for weeks and nothing seems different. And then suddenly, in a moment, everything clicks. Sometimes your mind needs rest before it can grow. Sometimes you need to pause before you can move forward. During this difficult period, I developed one habit that helped me more than anything: writing. Every evening, I wrote a few sentences about my day. Not perfect sentences, not poetic sentences, just honest sentences. I wrote about what I felt, what I learned, what I avoided, and what I wanted to change. And slowly, day by day, I started to understand myself better. Understanding yourself is the first step to staying motivated. I realized that my problem wasn't laziness. It was fear. Fear of failure. Fear of disappointment. Fear of wasting time. Fear of not being good enough. Once I understood this, everything became a little easier. I started to focus on effort rather than results. I told myself, you don't need to be perfect. You only need to try. And when I failed, I stopped punishing myself. I simply said, it's okay, tomorrow is another chance. Motivation returned not as a sudden wave, but as a quiet, steady feeling, a belief that I can improve even if the improvement is slow, a belief that the future depends on what I do today, a belief that small steps matter. Now, looking back, I realized that the difficult times taught me more than the easy times. They taught me discipline. They taught me patience. They taught me resilience, the ability to keep going even when life is confusing or unpredictable. And most importantly, they taught me that motivation is not something you wait for. It is something you build. If you are going through a difficult time right now, I want you to know something. You don't need to feel strong every day. You don't need to move fast. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to take one small step today, and tomorrow, take another, and another. And slowly, without even noticing, you will move forward. And one day, you will look back and say, I survived. I grew, I changed, and I'm proud of myself.